Welcome to Feeding Frenzy. My name is Tammy and I work at the library. And I'm going to show you how to build your very colorful bird feeder today. It is kind of a 2, even 3-day process, but we'll get it all together and it'll be beautiful when we're done. So there are actually enough supplies in this bag if you want to make 2, or you can make one bigger one. It's going to be totally up to you how you do it. So let's see what we have in the bag that you should have already picked up at the library. So inside of the bag that you picked up, you're going to have an information sheet, 2 bags of bird food, 2 pieces of jute twine. You're going to have some contact paper that's kind of rolled up in your bag, but mine's flat right now. We have some Q-tips, a cup of glue, some wax paper sheets, and your pretty colorful craft sticks. From home, you're going to possibly need, maybe it's up to you, but you're going to need a pair of scissors and a heavy flat item. So I picked a book because it's nice and flat and it's heavy and it's going to help hold the things down to help them dry overnight. All right, but don't worry, we won't get glue on them because we'll cover it up first. All right, so let's get out the items that we need to make this bird feeder. You're going to need a piece of your contact paper, and you're going to need a couple of Q-tips, your cup of glue, a piece of wax paper, and you're going to need 10 of your craft sticks. I like to make sure when I'm picking out my craft sticks, I like to lay them out just to make sure that they're nice and flat. They don't have like little bows in them or curves, because these are the bottom pieces, and it's really important that they lay flat and right up next to each other, that there's no little notches tucked out of them or anything like that, so that they glue nice and flat together. All right, so I lay them out first and see, yep, looks like they should fit together all right. And then these will go on top just like that, and that's what your base is going to look like. So what we're going to do next is unwrap your glue. So take it out of the bag and set that aside. And then your glue cup is taped, so you can either use your scissors to untape it or just kind of lift the tape up off the bottom, because you're going to want to cover it back up later. So if you want to retape it with the tape, then that's a good idea. It'll help just keep it fresh overnight and not get spilled. So we got the tape lifted up all on 3 sides, and we'll just let it hang there like that. You're going to use your Q-tips for the glue. So I put the contact paper down just to make sure I don't get glue all over my table. And we'll take apart what we just laid out there, and you're going to put 2 of your craft sticks on the bottom like that, and then we're going to lay the other ones on top, but you're going to want to put some glue on both of these. We're going to leave a little bit of the ends open on each end where we don't need any glue. So right in the middle of the sticks. Put lots of glue on there on both sides. We want our bird feeder to have lots of glue on it so that it can hold all together, because it's going to be a little heavy once we get the bird food in there and once the birds start standing on the sides. Okay, so now I've got glue on both ends. We're going to lay them across, and we're going to leave the tips of these out as well. So you're just going to put it on there, try and make them even if possible. If not, it doesn't really matter that much. They'll be fine either way. And then, before I put this one on, I'm going to put a little glue on the edge, just to help those two connect together. Just like that. And they probably won't stay down real well at first. That's what we have that heavy book for at the end, so that it'll help hold it all in place so that when the glue dries, it dries all nice and firm together. So we're ready for the next one. Put a little glue on that side. And you can use whatever colors of these sticks that you want. You don't have to do it just like I'm doing it here. Use whatever colors in whatever order you want to use them in. Ready for the next one. Some more glue on the side. And make sure that they're good and tight up next to each other. Try not to have any gaps in between, but we're going to put a little glue over the top when we're done, so it'll help fill in any holes. Ready for another one. Some more glue on the side. And we have our last one. And we almost have the bottom all done. And then it's going to have to dry. And there's the last one. Okay, now it's all nice and close together. I'm going to take a little more glue and just kind of go over the tops right here so that the seams are filled with glue. Don't want our bird food to fall through the cracks. So just a little bit. My Q-tip's getting a little droopy. Might have to get another one. But we're almost done, so I think it'll be all right. All right, and one more. Whoops. All right, now we have to lay these two pieces on the top, so we're gonna need a little glue right over where that bottom two are. You're going to put these two right on top of that, just to kind of make like a craft stick sandwich, just to help keep that bottom all together and strong for the bird food. Okay, and then we're going to lay our sticks right over where those bottom two are, and kind of press down on it, just like that. And that's what your base is going to look like. And that part's all done. Now, we have to let it dry. So I want you to take your other piece of contact paper out. And this one is kind of a big piece, so I'm just going to fold it over, just so that I don't get anything on my nice book. And you're going to do this, and you're just going to be careful, but just lay it on top, and that's it. And we're all done for day one, and now it has to dry overnight. We want it to be nice and dry before we start adding the other sides to it. All right? Welcome back to Feeding Frenzy. Now that our base is dried overnight, we're gonna see what we have. All right, so we're gonna take our heavy book off and set it aside because we will need it again later. And uncover it, and there's our base. And it's nice and dry. We can pick it up and move it around, and it's good to go. So good job. All right, now we're gonna tie our strings on, and that's what's gonna hold it when you put it on your tree. So you can do this a couple of different ways. If you're gonna make two smaller ones, then you really only need one piece of string, and you would tie on your corners, opposite corners. If you're gonna make a bigger one, then I would suggest doing corner to corner and using both strings, because it'll make it a little stronger. So let's do that one. Let's do the two strings. So I'm going to just make like a loop, like that. And put the end through, so you kind of have a loop, looks like that. And I'm going to tie it around the bottom. So this is the bottom side. And then you're going to make it to a knot. Make sure it's good and tight on there. And then I'm going to put a little glue on here just to make sure that the knot stays tight and that it stays tight to the bottom. Yeah, don't have to be a lot, just a little bit. All right, so because I'm going to use 2 strings, I'm going to wrap it around just wrap it around the end. So there's the back, there's the front part, the top part. And this side, we're going to do the same thing. You're going to make a loop. And we're going to stick it on good and tight. And we'll flip it back over. Make it into a knot. Put a little glue on it just to help hold the knot together so it doesn't slip apart. A little around the edge, just maybe to help hold it in place. All right, and then I'm going to wrap just around it to bring that string to the other side. Okay, so it's going to look like that. Now where you might want your scissors is if you don't want it to be this long to hang in the tree, then you can make your string shorter. All right, so I know it's kind of long and you might not be able to see the top, but if you want it long, then you can leave it that long. If you want it shorter, then you'll leave it shorter. And you'll use your scissors to cut it to the length that you want. So now I'm going to do the other side just like I did this side. Make another loop. Put it on, tighten it up. Make it tight. Put a little glue on it. And do the same thing with the other end. Let's see. I think this one looks a little longer, so I may have to cut it so that they kind of are the same length. There we go. And I'm going to leave enough room at the end. So I'm going to cut mine off just a little bit so that they are the same length. So when I tie it, they should hopefully be the same length and they'll be good and balanced. Whoops, forgot to make my loop first. All right, make my loop. Slide it over the end, pull it tight. Make a knot. Pull that tight. Take a little glue. And there we go. We have our string attached for hanging. All right, so now we're just gonna flip it back over. Just move the strings out of your way because we're not gonna need them for a while. Not until the end when we go to hang it up. All right, Now we're ready to start building the sides of our bird feeder. So you're gonna need your craft sticks and your glue and maybe another Q-tip or two. So get a couple more Q-tips over here just in case I need them. Okay, now the only thing we're using these wax papers for are to put under your glue cups so that you don't make a mess all over the table. It's just easier. You can just throw them away and get out another one if you need it. All right, so now we're gonna start building our sides. And we're gonna use 4. So we're gonna have 2 here. We're gonna lay 2 here and 1 on each end. And that's just what we're gonna keep doing. You're just gonna keep building them up and we're gonna glue them together. All right, so you can make this as tall as you want. If you wanna make 2 smaller ones, that's fine. If you wanna make a bigger one, that's fine. Or you can make 1 smaller one, however you wanna do it. How many ever sticks you wanna use. You have lots and lots to choose from. And you can use any colors that you want. So this is completely your design, all right? So that's how we're gonna do this. So to start, we're gonna put some glue down on this one, on these 2 sides, right over the string. On both sides. And we're gonna lay these right here on top. Like I said, you can pick whatever color you want. And they might not stay stuck real well right now, but they will eventually, once we put our heavy object back on them again tonight. Okay. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to cross them like this on both ends. I think I'm going to put a little more glue on. I forgot to put some on that end. Make sure I put some on here. Yep. All right. All right, so there's that. Now, a little more glue, and we're going to start putting them this way. Just need 2. So just a little glue here, and a little glue here. And don't worry if it comes up like it just did, because it's going to get all weighted down with that heavy book again overnight, so that'll help keep it in place, and it'll help it dry in place. So this is really colorful. I like these colored craft sticks. The birds are going to love the colors. All right, just like that. Now we're going to do the same thing. We're going to put a little glue here and a little glue here. And let's see, let's do a yellow one. You can do whatever color you want though, it doesn't have to be yellow. There's that. And how about a red one? Now right here in the middle, that's where your bird food's gonna go. So we have to leave that open. That's why we aren't putting any sticks in the middle anymore, on top of the base. We have to leave room for the bird food. Oh, how about an orange one? Whoops. Let's go the other way. We'll just put it all in here. So now we go this way. this way. And I'm going to put one more row on mine, and then I think I'm going to be done. But you can add more if you like, it's up to you. So let's see, I like the red ones and the pretty teal bluish ones. That's a pretty color. All right, so my bird feeder is done. That's as high as I want to make mine, but you can keep going because you still have lots of craft sticks to use if you want to use it. I'm just going to push it down firm, and then you're going to get your contact paper out again, your second piece that was on top. Mine was just this one big piece. So I'm going to just move my strings out of the way, and fold that over, and put my heavy object on top of it again, and now it's going to dry overnight. Welcome back. We're on day 3 of building our bird feeder. All right, so now that it's dried overnight, we're going to take off the heavy item and uncover it, and there you are. There's your bird feeder. This side's stuck a little bit. There we go. There we are. It's going to look like this, and you're going to hang it on the branch, and the birds can go through, come up and perch and eat. All you have to left to do is to fill it up with some bird food. We have made our bird feeders. Isn't that fun and exciting? I'm so glad that you joined me today. I'm going to show you the 2 that I made. They're 2 different styles. So we did this one together, you know, the one with the 2 strings. I didn't put any bird food in mine yet. I'm going to wait until I go outside so I don't make a mess. And then I also made this one to show you how you would just use 1 string. And I put a couple of perches on the top that you would do before you put the heavy item on it for the last night, so that it can be held down by that book. So they have somewhere extra special to perch, and then this one would just be balanced on the 1 string. So it's going to move around in the wind and it'll be fine. All right, and you'll just put your bird food right in the middle and hang it up for the birds, and they're just going to thank you so much because it's getting, you know, closer to winter, so the bird food is going to be a little harder for them to find. So thank you for coming and joining me and making this feeding frenzy pretty, beautiful, colorful, wonderful bird feeder, and the birds thank you too. Have a good day.